Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to Cloud Test Lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
Java training, JAXB. So my employee.xst was available at this level. So we have specified that we need to use XJC compiler. So click on XJC, you'll see how to use the XJC, and also you'll see several options for the XJC compiler. And based on the required properties, required inputs for XJC, you can just generate the Java files directly. So normally, when we generate the Java files, we want a package name for our Java file. That will be specified by using an option -p, which is used to specify package. So your XJC takes several arguments, -p. You can just specify the name of the package. Let us say I want to create the files with com.employee.jaxb. And after that, you need to give the name of the XST file. You can directly give the destination where it was supposed to create the files. You can go for -t option, directory. -p specifies the target package. And you have the option of specifying DTD or XML schema. We have mentioned that there are two options for specifying the schema file. Either you can go for -XML schema or -DTD. XML schema is the default one. So currently I'm running XJC -p com.employee.jaxb option. And after that, I'm also using verbose to see line by line, and I'm giving my name of the file. So this will create a package structure com.employee.jaxb, and it will parse the XST file, and it will create the separate Java files as well based on the complex type. So here you can see that parsing the schema, compiling the schema, generating code. We haven't provided any location, so it was created at the same level. Com employee jaxb address type.java, employee type.java, employees type.java, and object factory.java. Come to the folder structure. So here you can see that it has created com employee jaxb. The reason for that is we have specified the package structure. So once after that, we have mentioned that we need to create or we need to compile the Java files. But before compiling the Java files, let us go and import directly here, and we'll see what kind of a content was available within those Java files. Import file system. So we'll start with employees type. Employees type is the root element. This file was generated by the Java TM architecture for XML binding reference implementation with version number in JDK6. The package, the classes are available in a package called javax.xml.bind.annotation. JAXB framework was developed only based on annotations. So that means all your class files just consist of only setters and getters along with the properties, and the information will be provided to the container or the Java framework by using annotations. Annotations are used to provide some information back to our Java framework or Java C. So currently all our Java classes, JAXB classes are available in a package called javax.xml.bind.annotation.star. And these class files are shipped with our JDK itself, so no need to import any jar file. And normally the XML related elements or annotations will be available within your annotation package. Here you can see that, within the multi-line comments, you can see that this is a complex type, employee type, element, employee, and employee type, maximum occurs unbounded. So this is the XST representation which we have mentioned here, this particular part. Here you can see that it was just used only for our reference. And once after that, you can see that it has created a class, public class, employees type, and it has created a protected list of employee. The employee is nothing but, within our employees, you can see that we can have many number of employee lists. So when we have multiple elements, Java will consider that as a list of elements. So currently, see, this is employees type, employees. This is employee type. When you go to this employee, your employee, come back to our XML. Employee consists of an attribute, and it consists of 4 normal elements, 1 reference element again. So come back to our employee type. So within your employee type, forget about annotations. We'll take a look at the annotations in a second. You can see that first name, last name, salary, designation, employee ID, and a reference to address. And for each and everything, you can see that getter and setter. Getter, setter, setters got created. Even if you go to address object as well, go to our address also. So this is the lowermost level. So with address also, you can see that address consists of city, state, zip code, and here city, state, zip code, address ID, and getters and setters are available for all those elements. And finally, we have mentioned that one another extra class, which is objectfactory.java. You can just go through this particular information that was provided by the JAXB framework later. And here you can see that the object factory consists of some information, some methods for creating your employee object, employees object, address object, employee object, and also some namespaces information and creating some JAXB related classes. So your JAXB uses these objects when it is converting from your XML representation to object representation. So no need to touch any of these classes which are created by the XJC compiler. Come back to our address type first. Normally our address type consists of, let me open it here. Our employees consists of an employee element, and address consists of 4 elements, 3 elements and 1 attribute. So here within your JAXB generated classes, this will bind how your XML will be mapped to the Java object representation. At class level, it will use XML type annotation, and it will use name, address type, and also the order of the elements. Here you can see that city, state, zip code is the order of the elements. And for each and every property, it will declare that as an XML element. And once after that, it will use XML attribute as an annotation name for your address ID. So here attribute represents the XML attribute and element represents XML element. And when you come back to employee type, here also it will use the same kind of stuff. You can see that XML type. So during the object creation or marshalling or unmarshalling process, it uses this name and create the XML format based on the name attributes which are available at the XML type level. Come back to employees type. So here, employee is a list object. We can have any number of employees. We can have one more employee like this. So here you can see that we have 2 employees, and we can store only 2 employees in terms of any kind of collection only. We can store at a single level. So that's the reason it has created a list of employee objects, and your list won't consist of any setter method. It will only have a getter method. So if you have only getter method, how can we add the element to the list? See, normally when we want to set some kind of elements, we want a setter method, but here for list, you won't be having any setter method. The reason for that is when you want to add an element, normally you'll just get the list first, call this one, get the list first, and then make use of the normal list methods like add method or add all method or remove method, any kind of those methods, and you can simply work on that. But for the first time, the list itself verifies if the list was not available, it will create a list and directly provide that to you. If the list was already available, then it will simply return that list, and you can add the element by calling the add method. One important change that we are supposed to make at this level is XJC compiler won't specify one important annotation, which is XML root element. The XML root element annotation should be specified to your root element. Currently, this is my root element. You should specify that as root element, or else your Java or JAXB framework won't be able to start processing properly. That is a requirement for JAXB framework to have a root element annotated with XML root element. So this is the only stuff that you are supposed to do externally. And once after that, you can generate the Java files, the .class files. So go to com. Before that, I don't want to generate at the save level. So I'm creating one directory here. So now go to com, employee, JAXB. So I want to compile all these files, but I want to generate the Java files, .class files at some other location. That's the reason I have created a separate folder. Why? I can't answer that question. Okay, I have compiled those files. Okay, once after creating the .class files, create a jar file, cf employee JAXB.jar. So now you can just take the employee JAXB.jar, take this employee JAXB.jar and put it onto your build path, and you're good to work on the JAXB framework now. Anyway, currently I have imported the Java files directly, so I'm not going to delete them. Or else you can delete them and directly work on the jar file itself. Build path, configure build path. Add external jars. Employee JAXB.jar. Click on OK. So now you have all the So once we got the requirements, like this step has completed. So now our next step is how to convert the XML file to Java object representation, or how to convert the Java object to XML representation. Currently, create a Java object first and then convert into an XML representation. So create a class. So our first step is from Java object. From Java object, we want to convert in terms of an XML representation, because Java object we can easily build from our Java code. So write a separate method, public static void generate Marshall object. JAXB context is the startup class for JAXB framework. JAXB context, I guess this is an interface, but this is the startup class, and it consists of a method called new instance method. The new instance method will directly provide you a new instance, that is a static method, which will internally create an instance of the subclass object and will provide that to you directly. And once you got an object, you can call create marshaller, which will create a marshaller object, create unmarshaller, which will create unmarshaller object, and provide it directly to you. Let us say you have called a marshaller object. Create marshaller method, and you got a marshaller object. Once you got the marshaller object, so normally marshalling is converting from Java object to XML representation. Marshaller will consist of another method. This marshaller object will consist of another method, marshal method, and also the next one consists of one more method, unmarshal, which will perform the actual XML to object representation, and here object to XML representation. When Marshall converts object in terms of an XML representation, you have plenty of sources. You can directly write to output stream, nothing but you can send to a file by using two options. Either you can use character-oriented streams or byte-oriented streams. And also when converting XML to object representation, you have the reader option or input stream option. You can just read the XML by using normal file input stream or reader option, and this will directly provide you the object representation. But to perform all these steps, the startup class is JAXB context, and to JAXB context, you need to provide what are the JAXB classes that are to be used to perform marshalling or unmarshalling process. That will be specified by using the top level package structure of JAXB classes. So currently our JAXB classes are available within com.employee.jaxb, that is the package structure. When you have specified the package, JAXB uses the classes that are available at this package level, and it will use those classes for performing marshalling or unmarshalling of objects. If you didn't specify this package name properly, then it was not able to convert the XML to object representation properly. See, ultimately, when it has converted from XML to object, you are supposed to call the getter methods. So you want the objects to be created properly by the JAXB framework, and the data needs to be inserted automatically, or data needs to be populated automatically by the framework itself. Now create two separate methods for performing marshalling or unmarshalling object. Our startup class is JAXB context is equal to JAXB context dot new instance. So here you can see that class or string context path. You can specify all the classes with comma separated because this is Verox parameter, or else you can simply specify the top level package name itself, com.employee.jaxb. That is my package name for Java classes. This will throw one exception, JAXB exception. If at all, if it was not able to perform the conversion process, then this will throw JAXB exception. Once after that, you can simply call create marshaller object. This will provide you the marshaller object consists of another method, marshal method. These are the three steps that you are supposed to follow for any kind of marshalling of an object. The first thing is you need to specify the package structure of the JAXB classes. Next, you need to call marshalling object creation, and finally you need to perform the marshalling for that employee B. So here you can see that the marshal accepts a JAXB element. Currently, your employees type or employee type, address type, all are JAXB elements only because they are annotated with XML types, and internally when the container or Java framework understands, and it can easily convert that to JAXB element, and you can pass that as an parameter to your marshal method. And on the right side, you can see that there are several options. You can write to a file or output stream or a writer. There are several other options as well. Take a look at those other methods. So currently, I haven't created the employee object. So create an employee bean first. So I'm creating an employees type, EMPS, list, new employees type, Once after that, call the getter method. When I call getEmployee, this will provide me a list of employees. So now I'll create a simply one employee.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website H2Kinfosys.com. On our website H2Kinfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.